Only Murders in the Building Season 4. Yeah, you guys think I forgot all about this show, didn't you? But nah. I was waiting for my girlfriend to catch up on this series because I knew she would love it, and she was consistently shocked when she caught up before Season 4, which we watched together. And the basic synopsis of this season goes as follows. Our three friends, Charles, Oliver, and Mabel, are once again putting podcasts together trying to uncover a deadly murder case, but this one is a little bit more personal. They're investigating the murder of Saz Pataki. Saz is played by the great Jane Lynch, and she is Charles Hayden Savage's stunt double. Not only that, but she was his best friend. So it's up to them to go through the list of suspects and discover who done it. Now, this is one of my favorite shows on television right now. I think it's consistently keeping you guessing. It's consistently funny. I know a lot of people don't really like Steve Martin's style of comedy and his way of writing comedy, but I'm one of those people that just gets him, man. And I think if Oliver Putnam, Martin Short was the MVP of Season 3, Steve Martin was certainly the MVP right here. Especially through the first half of this season when he is just so emotionally gutted over the death of his best friend. But also some darkly humorous moments thrown in there too, like him picking up her ashes out of his kitchen. Like, Jesus. Not to say that Martin Short and Selena Gomez are not great in this series as well, because in Season 4, both of them definitely have spots to shine, but not nearly as much as Charles Hayden Savage. And this season, I feel like a lot of you are gonna love for the same reason I loved Season 3, which was set in the theater. And I was getting a lot of the in-jokes there, being someone who's been involved in theater for half of my life, and especially getting that Patter song stuck in my head, which I will be honest, Lindsay and I sing around our house from time to time, and both of us get annoyed at each other when we do. Which of the Pickwick triplets did it? But Season 4, I'm sure a lot of you adore because it is set in the film world. So many clever nods to the history of film, and a lot of this writing is centered around passion and talking about film. And the satire part of this season comes around when there's a movie being made based on the podcast Only Murders in the Building. And the guest stars that they get to play our three leads are absolutely genius. Zack Galifianakis might have been the most outside-the-box choice because he's playing a version of Martin Short here, and he's as funny as I've ever seen him. Eva Longoria is the choice to play Mabel. And the joke is that, oh yeah, we find it weird that Selena Gomez is hanging around two old dudes. So we decided to age Mabel up because Hollywood thinks it's weird. God, what a drama queen she is. But playing Charles Hayden Savage is the great Eugene Levy from Schitt's Creek fame. Now, Schitt's Creek is one of my favorite comedies to come out on television in the past decade, so I was thrilled to see him. And not only that, a little part of my childhood was kind of... it was peeking out, man, because I know these movies are shit, but both Cheaper by the Dozen movies were a huge part of me growing up. And Cheaper by the Dozen 2, who were the two stars in it? Steve Martin and Eugene Levy. So it was cool to see that reunion. And my God, the guest stars, I mentioned it, I think, in the last season, but the amount of guest stars that they have this season, wow, it is a who's who of talent. Meryl Streep comes back playing Loretta, and she is a legend, obviously. And she's so good in this that the Oscars will probably nominate her for Best Supporting Actress, even though this is not a movie. That's how much they love this woman. Paul Rudd is coming back with a nice Irish accent, playing the stunt double of Ben Glenroy. And I knew this man was funny. I knew he was talented. I didn't know he had an Irish accent in him, though. The list goes on and on. Ron Howard appears in this, playing a version of himself, just like Eugene Levy, Eva Longoria, and Zack Galifianakis. Melissa McCarthy appears in this, playing Steve Martin's sister, and she's as funny as she's ever been. Kumail Nanjiani plays an influencer who seems to be obsessed with Christmas. Molly Shannon plays the developer on this movie, and she is just hammered throughout a good chunk of these episodes. Divine Joy Randolph, who just won an Oscar for The Holdovers, is really great as the detective who's going after these murderers. And there were two special guest star shout-outs that I'd like to point out. One is Richard Kind, who wears an eye patch for most of this. I love this guy. I really don't think he gets nearly enough appreciation in the industry as he should. Because every time you see him is just... it's so unsettling, man. He makes you feel welcome, but yet it's so uncomfortable every time you step foot in his apartment. And I'm sure that's the feeling he was going for, and he nailed it. I think above all, with all due respect to all the big names involved in this, Jane Lynch was the huge guest star standout this season. Yes, even though she was murdered in the season 3 finale, we get to see a lot of her being kind of an image in Charles Hayden Savage's mind, We get a lot of flashbacks with her. And it's so refreshing to see Jane Lynch playing a welcoming, motherly-like figure almost. Quite the opposite from Sue Sylvester. But dude, like, honestly, if you have Hulu, if you haven't started Only Murders in the Building, what the hell are you guys waiting for? It's a super easy show to sit through. The episodes aren't too long. And each episode, as the credits started rolling, Lindsay and I were both like, it's a little bit too late tonight, but one more. Just one more. Because I gotta find out what happens next. It's a show that consistently keeps you guessing. It's a show that consistently keeps you entertained. And this season in particular is very distinct from its three predecessors in that it is a glowing tribute to Hollywood. And I'm sure a lot of cinephiles on this medium will adore that. Does every joke in Only Murders land? No. Does every line of dialogue hit as well as it should? No. Is Selena Gomez's performance a little bit flat and bored in some cases? Yeah, I totally get that. I'm gonna defend Selena Gomez though, and I'm just gonna, like, if anybody's slandering this performance, like, you guys just don't get it, because Mabel as a character does not like being seen out in the public eye. So yeah, of course she would be kind of boring. But yeah, this is just a really solid show, and I know season 5 is filming right now if it hasn't already wrapped. It's going to be premiering on Hulu in August. At least that's the scuttlebutt I'm hearing. But I am so excited to find out where this story can go next. And I know there's been a lot of rumors circulating about when Only Murders in the Building could end. These creators, Steve Martin, John Hoffman, if they want to keep going with these mysteries as long as they can squeeze juice out of it, by all means, go for it. As long as I can consistently be entertained and every season can kind of feel distinct from one another, I'm all for it. Only Murders in the Building is phenomenal. I'm going to give season 4 a solid A. Seriously, if you don't have Hulu, this is a show that is not being talked about enough. But if you watch Only Murders in the Building, let me know what you think of it down in the comments section below. What was your favorite film homage that you saw in this past season? There's a lot that we can discuss in the cinematic world and the entertainment world all right here, my friends. If you've stumbled across my stupid face for the first time, if you want to keep discussing cinema with me, do consider subscribing, tap on that thumbs up as well. That would be greatly appreciated. Summer season is getting off into a brilliant start here. The month of May looks stacked, particularly with Thunderbolts coming to mind. And I should announce this, but I will be reviewing all 4 seasons of Daredevil up to this point. That's why I haven't reviewed Daredevil Born Again up to this point, because I wanted to watch all 3 seasons again before I watched Born Again and review all of those. Real life has really gotten in my way these past number of months, guys, so I appreciate you guys sticking with me after all this time. And I got some fun stuff planned, because I'm coming up on 5 years on YouTube now, which is nuts, and I can't wait to celebrate that with you guys, and I can't wait to launch the second channel, probably within the next month or so. Lots to look forward to, my friends. Thank you again so very much. Y'all are the best. And with all that being said, Back Talk commence.